Famous people who recovered from debt. Picture this. A rapid-fire montage flashes across the screen. A boxing ring, a Hollywood sign, an IRS notice, piles of cash. Then everything freezes. A hard beat drops. Mike Tyson made over $300 million and still ended up bankrupt with $23 million in debt. J.K. Rowling built a billion-dollar book empire while living on welfare. These are not ordinary stories. These are stories of collapse, total financial ruin, and more importantly, they are stories of comeback. 10 famous people hit absolute rock bottom. Some owed tens of millions. Others lost everything, but every single one fought their way back. And here's the real reason you should care. These aren't just inspiring stories. They are practical blueprints. They reveal how people rebuild from nothing, how they think, how they act, and how they turn failure into leverage. Stay with me, because one of these people built the most valuable entertainment empire on earth after going broke. Before we dive into the stories, here's something you need to understand. Debt is not rare. It's not just something that happens to other people. In fact, the majority of people live paycheck to paycheck, and that includes celebrities, people earning millions. So what separates those who escape debt from those who stay stuck? 3 things: strategy, reinvention, and mindset. By the end of this video, you'll understand all 3. So grab a pen, let's begin. 1. Mike Tyson, $23 million in debt. At his peak, Mike Tyson earned over $300 million. He was unstoppable, the most feared boxer on the planet. But his lifestyle matched his income, and then some. A $2.5 million mansion, exotic pets like Bengal tigers, endless spending. There was no concept of too much. Then reality hit. In 2003, Tyson filed for bankruptcy. He was $23 million in debt. But here's where things get interesting. His comeback didn't happen in the ring. It happened through reinvention. He moved into entertainment, one-man stage shows, movie appearances, his podcast. He rebuilt his brand, not as a fighter, but as a personality. Today, he's worth around $10 million. More importantly, he controls his story. Lesson: it's not about how much you earn, it's about what you keep. 2. 50 Cent, $30+ million in debt. In 2015, 50 Cent filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Over $30 million in debt. Most of it came from lawsuits and business losses. The internet mocked him. Memes spread everywhere. But what people didn't see was the strategy. He used bankruptcy as a tool, not as surrender, but as leverage. It gave him time. Time to restructure, time to negotiate, time to protect his assets. And this wasn't his first smart move. Earlier, he had invested in vitamin water, a deal that reportedly earned him around $100 million. After bankruptcy, he pivoted again, this time into television. He built a successful production empire, including the hit series Power. Today, his net worth is around $40 million and growing. Lesson: bankruptcy isn't failure, it's a system. Learn how to use it. 3. Nicolas Cage, $14 million in tax debt. Nicolas Cage is known for 2 things: his acting and his spending. At one point, he owned 15 homes, yachts, a private island, rare artifacts, even a dinosaur skull. Then came the crash. In 2009, he owed $14 million in taxes. Properties were seized. He was sued by his own financial manager. Most people would disappear. Cage did the opposite. He worked relentlessly. He took role after role, sometimes 7 movies in a single year. Not all were hits, but that wasn't the point. He kept moving. He rebuilt his finances step by step. Eventually, he returned to critical success with films like Pig and The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Today, he's worth around $25 million. Lesson: when in doubt, increase output. Action creates options. 4. Walt Disney, broke before the empire. This one might surprise you. Before the empire, before the theme parks, before everything, Walt Disney failed. His first company went bankrupt. He had almost nothing left. He moved to Hollywood with just a small amount of money. Then things got worse. A distributor stole the rights to his first successful character. Imagine that. You build something and someone takes it. Most people would quit. Disney didn't. On a train ride, he sketched a new idea. A mouse, originally named Mortimer, later renamed Mickey. That one idea changed everything. Mickey Mouse exploded in popularity. Then came films, innovation, and eventually a global empire worth hundreds of billions. Lesson: losing one idea doesn't matter. The next one could change your life. So far, you've seen a pattern: massive success, total collapse, strategic comeback. But we're just getting started, because in the next section, the stories get even more personal. Lawsuits, tax seizures, addiction, rejection, and one single mother writing in a cold apartment who changed the world. Let's continue. Now imagine this. You lose everything. Your money's gone. Your reputation is damaged. Your options are limited. Most people stop there. But the people in this section, they rebuilt anyway, and not slowly, decisively. Because when you understand how to recover, rock bottom becomes a starting point. Let's continue. 5. Kim Basinger, $8 million lawsuit. In 1993, Kim Basinger faced a devastating setback. She backed out of a film project. The result? An $8 million lawsuit. It crushed her financially. She filed for bankruptcy. At that point, she had two choices: take any role just to survive, or rebuild strategically. She chose strategy. Instead of rushing, she became selective, careful, intentional. Then came her role in L.A. Confidential. It earned her an Academy Award. That one decision redefined her career. She also made smart investments, including real estate. Today, her net worth sits around $40 million. Lesson: a strong comeback is not rushed, it's calculated. 6. Will Smith, $2.8 million ERS debt. Before global fame, Will Smith made a critical mistake. He didn't pay his taxes. The result? A $2.8 million debt to the IRS. They took most of his income. At just 20 years old, he was nearly broke. Then came an opportunity, a television show. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He didn't just accept it, he negotiated well. And more importantly, he handled the money differently this time. He became disciplined, strategic, focused. That mindset carried into film. Blockbusters followed, and over time, he built a fortune worth hundreds of millions. Lesson: one opportunity handled correctly can change everything. 7. Burt Reynolds, $10 million debt. At one point, Burt Reynolds was the biggest star in America. Then everything fell apart. Failed movies, an expensive divorce, a lifestyle that couldn't be sustained. He ended up more than $10 million in debt. His comeback didn't come from flashy roles. It came from something deeper. Vulnerability. He took a role in Boogie Nights. Raw, honest, different. It earned him major awards and recognition. And more importantly, it restored his credibility. Lesson: authenticity can rebuild what ego destroys. 8. George Foreman broke to $200 million. George Foreman was once a boxing champion. Then he lost everything. Bad investments, overspending, financial collapse. Most people would walk away. He came back, first to boxing, even in his late 30s. He shocked the world by winning again, but his biggest win came outside the ring. A simple product, a grill. The George Foreman grill became a global success. Over 100 million units sold. He earned more from that one deal than his entire boxing career. Lesson: your biggest opportunity may not be where you started. 9. Larry King, debt and addiction. In the 1970s, Larry King had a serious problem: gambling. He racked up over $350,000 in debt. His career nearly collapsed. At one point, he was even charged with a serious crime, though it was later dropped. He could have disappeared. Instead, he reset. He focused on his craft, talking, asking questions, connecting with people. That focus led to national radio, then television, then a legendary career interviewing world leaders and celebrities. Lesson: skill can rebuild reputation if you stay consistent. 10. J.K. Rowling, From welfare to billionaire. This is the most powerful story on the list. In the early 1990s, Joanne Rowling had almost nothing. She was a single mother, recently divorced, struggling with depression, living on welfare. Her apartment was sold, so she wrote in cafes, by hand, then typed her manuscript on a second-hand typewriter. She believed in one thing, her story. It was rejected 12 times, 12. Most people would stop. She didn't. The 13th publisher said yes. That book became Harry Potter. Within years, she became a billionaire. Her story reached millions, and she went on to donate huge portions of her wealth. Lesson: rock bottom can become the foundation for everything that follows. Final takeaways. Now step back and look at the pattern. 10 different people, different industries, different problems, same outcome. They rebuilt. Here are the 5 lessons that show up every time. Track your money. You can't fix what you don't measure. Reinvent quickly. Your income source can change. Use every tool available. Systems exist for a reason. Take action. Waiting keeps you stuck. And most importantly, one idea can change everything. A character, a product, a decision. Your comeback might depend on it. Conclusion. So here's the question. Which story hit you the hardest? Which one feels closest to where you are right now? Think about it, because debt is not the end. It's a turning point. And what you do next matters. If this shifted how you see money, recovery, and second chances, stay tuned for more. Because the next breakthrough might be closer than you think. Please subscribe, share, and like. See you on the next one.